What's up, guys? Welcome to Terado on Toyz. If you're new here and you enjoy toy reviews, art, and podcasts, then you've come to the right place. And to those who have been here before, welcome back and thank you for returning. Now, today we're taking a look at... What's up, guys? G here for another Terado on Toyz. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy toy reviews, art, and podcasts, then you're at the right place. And to those who have been here before, welcome back and thanks for returning. Now, today we're finally checking out my first NECA Ninja Turtles purchase, which has been way overdue. So I'm really stoked to kick it off with the 90s film 2-pack figures. We've got Casey Jones and Raphael in disguise. And I got them before I found out about the movie re-releasing in theaters, which I did go out and see on Sunday. So what better time to unbox these guys than now? So before we move on, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a solid by hitting the like button before you go. And if you'd like to support the channel, then hit subscribe and ring that bell for more uploads. Now, let's check out the box real quick. I love their use of the graphics here on the front, along with the typography. We got Casey on one side, Raph on the other, and on the back side, we've got some nice captures of both of the figures. So really nice job there with the packaging. Now, for full disclosure, I did a brief QC on these two. You know, I even dunked them in water to loosen their joints because, God forbid, anything happens while we're recording here and something snaps off, because I've witnessed it with other toy reviewers, and just witnessing their mood switch midway is just kind of depressing and a little embarrassing. And I know I would definitely be embarrassed and my mood would be completely shut down. So, you know, kudos to them that can carry on throughout the video, but I do not have that confidence to keep that vibe going. So I did what was necessary to loosen them up. So we're going to go ahead and start with Casey here. He's got a great head sculpt with his mask, and it appears they used the other head sculpt from the casual Casey Jones and April O'Neil 2-pack, because if you look close enough, you will notice some facial details in there. So I wonder if that was the case, or maybe this is just a whole new head sculpt and they included the details in the face and put on a face mask on top. You know, I don't know, but really cool. And with the full body sculpt, the detailing, the texture is impeccable. They did a really nice job with the paint application as well, like the shading and the wrinkles in his shirt. His vest really adds to the texture, and yeah, they did a nice job with that. For the articulation, overall, it's pretty good for the most part. The only thing is he doesn't have a lot of range of motion in the foot bend, but he does have a nice ankle rocker. With the knees, great knee bend, good like swivel there. Still a bit stiff after cooling down, but I do think it looks a little awkward with how that like edge there for the knee, kind of pointy. For the most part, it's not as distracting, but I guess like in certain poses or under certain lighting, like you'll see how pointy it kind of is, and it's interesting approach is what I'm getting at. Got a nice ratchet and swivel in the leg, front kick, side kick if you want. Back kick is there, but not a good range. With the torso, he does appear to have some sort of ball joint, or at least it feels like it. So that allows some rotation in the hips. And then with the shoulders, he's got a great arm raise and, you know, full rotation as well. Well, when his bag's not in the way. Double jointed elbows really gives a nice bicep flex, and swivels at each point here. Ratchet and a swivel at the wrist. And pretty good head mobility there. With his accessories, as you can see, he's got all his weapons. So we got different hands to hold each weapon, 2 closed fists, and 1 finger pointing hand. what I will say in regards to his golf bag, I like that it's flexible. It's not like the stiff, hard plastic. The bag does fit everything. So we have, as you saw before, we got the goalie stick, the hockey stick, which looks really nice. 2 baseball bats. I kind of wish that one of them did have the Jose Canseco signature. That would have been cool. Cricket paddle and the golf club, which I wish that they used a metal piece for the club because this is just way too flimsy. With Raph, I love the hat here. It's like a nice soft plastic. It fits really nicely and tightly on his head. The way to get it on there is to make sure you insert the knot of his headband into the hole in the back of the hat there, and that will keep it in place, because if you just sit it on his head, like it's not gonna sit right. So you got to make sure you insert the knot like that, and then there you go. All right, so we're gonna just keep the hat off there for now. With the coat, I love a good like material for clothing, which allows it to come off. The stitching is pretty good considering some of the stragglers we've got here, but that's like an easy fix. You could always just trim that off. The buttonholes, they are stitched shut, so you can't fully close the coat there. So you got to use the belt, thread it through the loop there. But yeah, the coat looks great. Nice job for the backpack here. Just all that detail and the paint job there looks really good. Just like I said before, the jacket does come off. Just got to get his arms back here like he's doing a DBZ run or Naruto run, depending on which anime you grew up on. Slip that bag off. And then you just get those hands through the sleeves. All right. Oh, there you go. Now, I will point out the stitching inside the coat is messy, right? In the sleeves there. So, you know, at least you won't see it when he's wearing the coat, right? Now, the sculpt is just, it's amazing, honestly. And it's definitely one of the reasons why I wanted to get these guys, because of how well he resembles the movie. Like, they just really nailed it with his facial expression, musculature, you know, the just like everything. Like, even the details on his shell is done really well too. Like, let's get a nice focus on that. Look at that. So good. So yeah, man, like this was like a must have for me. And like, he's like vascular too. Like, look at the veins on his legs, on his forearms. I really appreciate the pigment changes on his skin too. So you'll see it on his legs there a bit, on his arms, his shoulders, even on his face. The paint application, they did a real phenomenal job with that. Now, with his articulation, it's pretty much the same as Casey's, although his arm raise isn't as high, and that is just because of the sculpt of his delts there. You know, he's a muscular dude, so that's not a huge deal for me. He does have a rotation though. Double jointed elbows with swivels above and below the elbow pad. Nice bicep flex there. And of course, you got the ratchet and swivel in the wrist. Good head movement, head tilts, even like front and back. And of course, good rotation. His torso, you can't do like a full-on waist swivel, but there is movement in there. So I do believe there is a ball joint in there. And as a matter of fact, I do appreciate that his shell is like a separate piece. Like, you can't, you know, obviously you can't move it around a lot, but there is like some wiggle in there. So I like that. The legs got nice ratchet and swivel joint there. Got a decent kick, you know, considering with the shell in the way. So you got to kind of like do an angled kick. You know, nice side kick. Back kick, not so much because of his shell. In the knees, they're also double jointed. So you got a swivel above the knee pad. You got a really nice knee bend there. You got a nice foot bend. You can point his foot out, and has a nice ankle rocker. They did a really nice job overall with Raph here. Accessory wise, he does come with a pair of Psy, of course, and they look really nice. Let's go ahead and insert them in these holsters. Nice. Next, we have 2 extra headband tails. So if you want to swap them and give it that, like, you know, it's like blowing in the wind, you have 2 options there. Of course, we got a pizza slice. I think this is a standard for all of the turtles. And 2 extra pairs. One pair is open palm, and the other pair is pointing fingers, which is kind of funny because since they're, you know, they only have 3 fingers, it looks like he's just flipping the bird. Really nice job with the sculpts on the accessories. Like I said, they really nailed it with both of these guys, not just Raph. These look phenomenal. They look great on display, and I'm really glad to finally get these guys. Like, I don't know why it took so long, but we did it. If you're a big TMNT fan, you grew up on the film, and your collection is missing these guys, I would definitely say get them. They're totally worth it. But just a quick heads up, the 2-packs tend to be pricey, especially on eBay, which is where I got them from. But if you are getting the individual figures, they are fair on the pricing. To wrap this up, I'm actually going to bring out the Playmates Raphael. I did do a Playmates review. If you want to go ahead and check that out, I actually discuss the articulation for these guys, and I believe they should have gave them double joints in their knees and elbows, much like they did here with the NECA figures, because it feels like the elbow pads and the knee pads are separate pieces, which allow that range of motion in their bends. This is his arm bent right now, right? Not a great range of motion there. I would say the knee bends aren't bad. I think it would have benefited to have given them double joints. That's just my honest opinion though, and if you agree with me on that, or if you disagree, just let me know in the comments. That's pretty much it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please hit the like button before you go, and to support the channel and see more videos, hit subscribe and ring that bell, because coming up I will have a review for Mikey. In the meantime, stay young, keep enjoying your toys, and hopefully I will catch you on the next one. Cowabunga!